Welcome back everybody to another episode, and in today's episode we got a little change of scenery. We're out here in the garage. I'm actually kind of renovating the garage into my man cave area right now, so I kind of threw everything on the boat right here because not everything's done over here on this wall, and I will do a tour of that when the video is ready. But today we're going to be going over all my bow hunting gear, what I take in the woods, and what I think are like your must-haves out there, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so I was going to do this in the last bow hunting vid that I made, but unfortunately the video was already pretty long, so I figured we might as well just make a separate video of everything that I bring into the woods, and going over my bow, to the gear that I pack in my backpack, my camo, all that. So I got everything kind of laid here on the deck of my boat here, and I'm just gonna grab one item at a time here and go through it with you guys. So if there's anything that I missed that you guys think should be in this video, drop it in the comments below. If you have any questions of how I bring things in or any other gear, go ahead and just throw your question in the comments. The first thing on the list, guys, is gonna be my safety harness, and I'm covering this first because at this point, this day and age, there's just no reason not to be wearing a safety harness when you're out there. So I think it's super important to have a safety harness. Buy yourself one that's gonna be comfortable. I think I paid like 60 or 70 bucks for this safety harness here. I used those other ones that come with those, with your tree stands, and they're just not super comfortable. So I bought this one, spent a little extra money, and this thing is, nice and comfortable. So I would suggest that you buy one that's gonna be nice and comfortable, and get used to wearing it around and having it underneath your gear. Just get used to wearing it in general, because most of the time, I throw this sucker on and I wear it into the stand. So I like to just, be used to having it on, used to shooting with it on. Sometimes it pulls a little bit, but yes, invest in a good safety harness. You will not regret it. The next thing that I like to bring into the stand with me, guys, is a lineman's harness here. This is super nice to hook to your safety harness, and then this strap goes around the tree, so you're always harnessed into the tree as you climb it. If you don't have one of those hunter safety lines, you can put in one of those hunter safety lines when you hang your stand. That goes from the top of the tree all the way to the bottom, and you just latch in, and then you can go slide the knot up as you go up the tree, which is really, really nice. But if you're a mobile hunter and you guys are bringing in your stand and setting it up that day, or that morning or that evening on the hunt, you're definitely going to want to have a lineman's harness to help you get up the tree safely. But what's also nice is that when you're clipped in and this is around the tree, you can lean back, let that tug on the tree, and then you're able to use both hands instead of trying to grip the tree with one arm and hang your sticks or hang your stand, which can be unsafe, and because you're not harnessed into the tree. And like I said, with all the safety gear that's available nowadays, there's just no reason not to have this stuff. Now the next thing here, guys, is invest in a decent headlamp, okay? This might seem basic, some of these things that I list on here are gonna be basic things that you experienced hunters. You're like, duh, obviously you need those things. But sometimes, people that are getting into bow hunting or hunting in general, they don't have some of these things. So I wanted to cover everything that we're gonna need. So, a good headlamp is a must. This thing, I invested in this last year. It was probably like 25, 30 bucks. A really nice headlamp here, really lights everything up in the woods for you if you need it to. It also has red light as well if you don't feel like using a bright light when you're walking in. But I use this not only for bow hunting, but I use it for duck hunting. Duck hunting is really useful, but especially those early mornings or late evenings, a good, reliable headlamp is a must. So let's get into what I'm shooting, guys, for a bow. Let's get this out of the way before we move into the other gear here. Now this is my bow right here. This is a Matthews Adrenaline. I've had this bow for a very, very long time. My parents bought it for me when I was probably like 13. They bought it brand new for me because I used to be into archery like crazy. I did have new limbs put on this year. They were camo, but I had a limb kind of just like splitting, just from old age, I guess. So had new limbs put on. They're black, but this is my setup right here. I do have like a 5-pin system here. I generally only sight in for 40 yards, like a 20, a 30, and a 40. Usually, I don't know, I'm pretty good at estimating my shots, so a 20 and a 40 is probably good enough, to be honest. I don't foresee myself having to shoot over 40 yards. The furthest I've taken a deer at is 45 yards. But this thing has been, this bow is just, I've wanted to upgrade, but there's really no need to. This The Matthews Adrenaline is super light and it just gets the job done. I really, really love this bow. So now my backpack, I always pack in a backpack. Reason being, you guys, is there's always stuff that you're gonna need, especially if you're gonna do an all-day sit, which I do those often. I like to bring extra snacks and water up into the stands with me. And for filming purposes, guys, I bring camera gear. I need to be able to get my camera gear up there, so this backpack really helps out. I can carry all my camera gear in here, carry all my extra batteries, the camera arm that attaches to the tree as well. I always carry, a hunting knife in here. I carry a handsaw in here as well. And the reason being is you never know when you're gonna need to cut something with a handsaw, so it's always nice to have something there in case you need to make a shooting lane last minute, something like that. A knife obviously is always a useful tool. I also like to pack my thermocell that is in here for early season hunts. If you guys do any early season hunting, mosquitoes can be a problem, so having a thermocell is always a really good thing to have in the woods. So I always pack my thermocell in there as well. Another thing I would suggest if you guys are gonna buy a backpack is make sure it has a strap that buttons like on these as well. It'll come across your chest and buckle, and then also the waist buckles are really nice, especially when this thing is loaded down with gear. Not that you want to carry in a ton of gear, but it just makes it easier on your back and shoulders to have those buckles right here to just keep it strapped nice and tight to your body. I'm gonna grab my camo set. Now this is new to me this year. I bought this camo set here. Actually, my wife got it for me for a gift. And this camo set has been like godsend. I've never had an actual camo set, like a full set of camo. I've always just bought like stuff you could buy at Walmart and pieced it together because a lot of times I just wasn't really into it. But I wanted to buy something that was going to be windproof. Windproof was a huge deal for me. So I really wanted something that was windproof and just a good versatile set of camo. So the first part of this camo, guys, is this right here. Now this is the Shields. It's like their West River camo, or like their West River Veil camo. This is like a sweatshirt style deal. What I like about this is it's a really good base layer to go over top of my thermals. But if it's a little too warm to be wearing my thermals, this is a great first layer to start with. It's like it's a nice early season like sweatshirt almost, guys. It's pretty thin, it fits pretty thin, super light, but it's super warm like a sweatshirt, man. And I'll tell you guys, this thing is just a great first layer. Now here is the bibs for this set here, guys. Now I went with the bibs on this because if you've ever worn like hunting pants and jacket, if you sit down and the jacket creeps up, then that wind kind of blows up your back. With the bibs, you'll never have that problem. So this is, like I said, it's that West River camo from Shields here. This is like the Antler River bibs and jacket, something like that. I'll link it down in the description below if you guys want to check it out. But this is 100% windproof. The bibs and the jacket are 100% windproof, and that's a really big deal. Is just if you can keep the wind off of you, you'll stay warm out there. But I have the bibs here. Like I said, I went with the bibs so that I'll never have to worry about the wind, creeping up the back. Like I said, and they also zip right here as well on the pants, so you can get your boots on and off really well. Here's the jacket, guys. This jacket is just, I love this jacket, guys. Super, super nice jacket. You can throw this sucker on. It's just perfect, guys. It's super quiet, super good fabric, and like I said, 100% windproof once again. Zips up nice if you don't have a neck gaiter. I always wear a neck gaiter. You also have right here, guys, for your safety harness to come through right here. So a lot of times I'll wear that first layer that you guys seen there. I'll wear this first layer here, and then I'll put my safety harness on over that, and then this jacket will go on top, and I can put my safety harness through that part on this jacket as well. It has lots of pockets. I especially love these pockets right here. I can keep my rangefinder right there and get to it nicely and pull, range when I need to in the stand. So that is super, super nice. Now with that camo set, guys, I also have just the neck gaiter that goes with it. Love wearing neck gaiters. I hate it when my neck gets cold out in the woods. So this is really nice. And then I also got just a set of the gloves, some thinner gloves, because I don't really care for bulky gloves. Early season I'll wear these, and then if it gets a little too cold in the later seasons, I will switch up to some bulkier gloves. But I have my hand warmer right here, which is kind of the next item leading into that, guys, is this thing right here. What I love about this is I throw you know, some good hand warmers in this sucker. And then especially when we're getting into those late season hunts where it's starting to get really, really cold, I wear the heater bodysuit, which I'll go over here anyway. But like I said, I wear the heater bodysuit, and throwing some hand warmers in here underneath that heater bodysuit, the heat kind of comes out of these when your hands aren't in them, and it kind of heats up that heater bodysuit when it's nice and closed. But you know, that's one thing I'll say, your hands still do get cold. So having this in there underneath the heater bodysuit, you guys, you're toasty. I'm telling you, you guys will be just fine and nice and warm. Lastly, guys, the heater bodysuit itself. If you guys have ever seen one of these, they roll up really nice like a sleeping bag. A lot of people complain that these are too bulky and it's annoying to carry them in and out of the woods. You know, what I always say is, I don't know how you're gonna get away from being bulky, especially in those late season hunts when it's super, super cold out. I'd rather carry this in, and plus it has backpack straps on here. Right here, it's got a couple backpack straps that you can, you know, shoulder it in. But personally, I take this and I strap it to my backpack, and I hardly even notice it's there. Strap it to my backpack and I walk in, no problems. And then once I get up into the stand, I hook my backpack onto the hook, and then when I'm ready to get into the heater bodysuit, I just unbuckle it and get into it. Once you figure out how to get in and out of this thing in the stand, super easy, nothing to really worry about, and it packs in super nice. I don't bust this thing out till it's like super cold out, when we're getting down into, you know, negative temps, when it's only like 5 to 10 degrees, even 20 degrees, I'll bring it anyway. And then when I start to get a little cool, which is a little more difficult with that new set of camo because it is 100% windproof, you do stay warm in that thing for quite some time. And they do have a thicker jacket and bibs in this camo from Shields that is windproof as well. But I went with the thinner layer because it's gonna help me with those earlier season hunts. But then when I'm ready to jump into the heater bodysuit, if I had that thicker stuff, it would just be too much. So the heater bodysuit is definitely one of those things you guys definitely need to check out. I also have a video going over this thing in depth. So if you guys want to check out that video, I'll link it down in the description below. I'll tell you what my final thoughts are on this. Big thing, I think it's worth it, but you guys have to check out that video. It goes in depth on it. So if you're looking at one of these, check that video out and you know, decide for yourself. All right, so now what do I wear on my feet, guys? These are my Lacrosse boots right here. This is the Sitka pattern. They actually came out with the camo pattern for that. The Shields camo after I had bought these. But I love wearing rubber boots, keeps the scent off of the ground. I really like these Lacrosse boots. These are 800 gram Thinsulate. You can go up to like 1600 gram, but I think the 800 gram gives me a little more flexibility. 1600 gram is gonna be pretty dang warm. But these underneath the heater bodysuit, I'm not gonna have to worry. I wore some muck boots last year that were not even close to this Thinsulation on my boots, and my feet barely got cold under the heater bodysuit. So I should have, my feet should be pretty warm underneath that heater bodysuit, but these boots are great. I love the way the Lacrosse boots fit, but really like just having rubber boots. Now for some other useful pieces of gear that I always bring with me. My rangefinder is a must. That I love having my rangefinder with me. A lot of times when I get into the stand, I like, once, you know, first light hits, I like to take my rangefinder out, start ranging different trees, different things near me, so that I have a good idea if a buck comes in or a deer comes in that I want to shoot. I have a rough idea of where I'm going to shoot before, and I don't have to sit there and range the deer constantly. I have a rough idea of, you know, what's what and where that deer is at. Always carry my buck grunt with me. This one is the extinguisher call, so it goes from like a fawn bleat to a doe grunt, doe bleat deal, and then a buck grunt. Really, really love this call. It's one of those things where having a buck grunt, especially during the rut, is a must-have. I don't have it with me, it's actually in the truck yet. I rattle bag, guys, so during the rut, especially, you know, late October, getting into the rut, I love using a rattle bag. I love to rattle and grunt when nothing's going on. Definitely brings, I've rattled in quite a few bucks. So if you guys have never rattled before, I suggest doing that, but I always have a rattle bag with me and a grunt call. Lastly, this is really nice here, guys. This is just to strap around the deer and then drag them out. So if you don't have the means of getting an ATV to you to help you, you know, drag that deer out, and this is all you got is yourself and some manpower, this will be, like I said, God sent to you guys. super, super nice to have this. It really helps out with dragging a deer. There you guys have it. I tried not to go too long on this video. I apologize if I did. If you guys have any questions about my gear or things that you would suggest I carry that I don't already, or you want to mention it to the community, go ahead, drop it down in the comments below. Share the knowledge within the community. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.